Okay, here's a quick video about the AQA 2018 Morse code scenario, and I want to look at the tree structure and make sure that everyone understands the data structure, but also how do we add new items to it. Weirdly, this isn't really programming, this is purely to do with data structures, and that's the nice thing about them, that we can make significant changes to the way the program works without actually changing any code, because the code already handles this data structure in the correct way. As long as we change the data structure, it'll be fine. So let's quickly cut to the data structure here. Bosh. I'm assuming that you're familiar with the code. I'm also assuming that you're familiar with this tree and the idea that we can generate a, that's not the right word actually, that we can decode a Morse code signal or a Morse code set of characters and find out what ASCII character they represent. So for instance, 1 dash is a T, 2 dashes is an M, a dash and 2 dots would be dash, dot, dot would be a D. I'm assuming you've looked at that and you explain it. Right, we're now going to see how this is actually borne out in the code. So just in case, it's these three lists here that are our data structure that actually form this tree, and I'll explain how this works. The fourth list, Morse code, is not so much to do with the tree. Right, I've literally just copied and pasted those lists here, and I've just put the index because it's going to help us. So you saw there was a list called letter, which had 0 through 26, space through to Z. There was a list called dash and a list called dot with what seemingly look like random numbers. So let's start with root. Let's pick, I don't know, I want to pick a random one, dot dash dot. Okay, so we're going to look at dot dash dot. So we start off at the root. We're expecting it to be dot dash dot. We're expecting it to be R. Okay, and we're expecting to go through E and A on the way. Let's see what happens. So we start off here, and because we've got a dot, we look in this column and we go, okay, we need to go to number 5. So we look at number 5 and we're now on this row. As you can see, it's an E, that's irrelevant to us. And I said it was dot dash dot. So now I look in the dash column and it says go back to number 1. Okay, bit of a pain, but we'll go back to number 1. So we've gone dot dash and now we want to go dot again. So I look at the dot and it says 18. So I go down to number 18 and lo and behold, we've got an R. So if I was to pick any letter at all, let's just pick W as it's here, and I go down to W, I can see that the dot branch on W is number 16, which happens to be P, or it is. The dash on W happens to be 10, which is, there we go, J. Okay. Right, I know what you're thinking. R, let's go back to R for a second. L on the dot, it is 12, lovely, but there's nothing on the dash, and that's signified by a 0. So what we do is we call these pointers because they point to whereabouts in the list you've got to go next. Easy peasy, I hear you ask. So I think one of the zigzag tasks is to add a dot, which is a bit annoying. I think it says to add it as dot dash or dash dot dash dot dash, no, dot dash dot dash. I think it's meant to be here under the R. So if I wanted to add that, I can just put it down here, call it 27. Doesn't matter, is name the character. We've named it dot, which is a bit annoying. And we need to make sure that the R dash points to 27. R dash points to 27, bish bash bosh. Okay, I'm actually going to put that back. Now, one of the tasks I'm setting as like a little extra is to add all of the numbers 0 through to 9 to this tree. Now, obviously you need to know what the Morse code for that is. As you can see, it is a pretty simple system. It's fixed length, so it's 5 characters, and it's either dit da 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 da, so 1 is 1 dot with 4 dashes, and you can see you incrementally remove a dash and add a dot all the way down to 0, which is 5 dashes. What does that look like if we add it to the tree? Because these are 5 characters long. Yeah, here we go. So I've added these in. So let's have a quick look. 0 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dashes. 1 is a dot with 4 dashes. Okay. 5 is 5 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All very well and good. Hopefully you could see those in there. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm going to just quickly put the Morse code patterns in this slide. If you are struggling to visualize this, just work your way through those patterns, and hopefully you should be able to see that we've got these positions for these numbers. We have got something slightly strange. I've had to put in some blank nodes into my tree in order to accommodate the right number of dots and dashes. That's okay. We could use these for special characters, emojis or @ or something like that, or we could just leave them null. Really doesn't matter. What I would like you to do now is to satisfy yourself this is correct, but also try and change the lists here to incorporate the numbers. So pause this video and try that, and then I will continue this video and show you the solution. Okay, so hopefully you paused that and you now have a solution. Let's quickly go to what we've done. And I've created 3 nulls, and I've kind of named them so that I know which ones they are. And I've put my numbers in. All my numbers are leaf nodes, so they're all got pointers of 0, 0. I've made sure that my pointers for my null ones are correct. So let's just double check. 27 and 36 for this one. So 27 should be 0. It is. 36 should be 9. It is. Brilliant. Okay, so they're all correct. And I've highlighted all the pointers where I've had to change it. So for instance, Q, I've not done Q. Oh, great. Is that Q or O? No, it's O, that's why I'm misreading it. Few. O is 37 and 38, so that's null and null. Let's have a look. 37, 38, the 2 nulls, brilliant. Z should go to 7, so let's just double check. 34, 34. And I'm hoping that you can see that that is a complete solution for the trees with nums. Right, what do you actually need to do with this? All these changes here need to be uber carefully changed here in the lists. Tediously count across, make the changes. You need to make some additions on the end, and crucially in the letter one, you need to put in comma, null, 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 and then comma the 1 to 9. Oh, sorry, 0 to 9, and then null, null, null. So, and you just manually change it. If you do that, your code should work. And I've actually given you in your thing a little tester so that you can see if it works, and it should come up with a little message that includes numbers in it. Right, hope you found that useful. Hoping you're enjoying Morse code, and I hope that you're excited that you've learned a little bit more about how data structures work when programming. Well done.